With credits in film, theater, and television, actor John Leguizamo has established a career which defies categorization. Known for portraying offbeat characters, he has played everything from a gangster to a drag queen. His latest film, Spawn, debuted at #2 at the box office, and later this month he marks his return to the New York stage with his semi-autobiographical play, Freak. I am pleased to have him back at this table. Welcome back.
You made me sound so important. I loved it, man. I'm weeping for myself.
Oh, man, I mean,
that was cool.
This multi-talented...
The Latin Lon Chaney's.
That's
what I'm trying to do. I've been studying his movies. I'm working on The Hunchback.
Yeah?
It's going to take a while. It hurts.
I want to get to the film in a minute. There is about you, this is my impression, a career that you have been very savvy about and driven by you knowing exactly what you want. Is that accurate?
I know that being a Latin man in the industry, I have to do things that are really shocking and daring and different. Otherwise, the opportunities are going to be very limited. It's going to be the very same thing that I don't want to be a part of, is, you know, always playing, you know, menial characters and things that are subservient. Because, you know, media affects the way kids think about themselves, and I don't want to be a role model or anything, but it subconsciously works on me a little bit, you know?
How's that?
Because when I was growing up, I mean, it was hard for me to have a dream and stuff like that, because I never saw Latin people in a positive way on television, and I had to work really hard in myself to create dreams and to create the possibility that I could be a successful person in this country.
Why you, then? I mean, why was it you had the capacity to do that?
Because I was stubborn. Because I'm goddamn stubborn. My mother would tell you, he's the most stubborn person in the world, that boy. Never listens to... Hard-headed. Cabeza dura.
What is that?
Cabeza dura, you know, a big hard head, my father would say. And it's true, I was stubborn, and nothing was going to stop me. My parents would go, my father would go, don't do that. We came to this country, we're immigrants. We work real hard. You're going to be an actor? For what? To be a loser? Forget it.
Make something of yourself.
Exactly. Be something important. And I go, I don't care. I want to be an actor, and that's, whether I fail or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah. But you had no role models. There was no one person you wanted to be like.
There was no one. Ricky Ricardo, I mean, Des Yarnez was the only thing I had, but that wasn't really, I don't know, it wasn't enough. I mean, I was always the only one in my acting class, the only Latin guy in acting classes. But I was in those acting classes, you know, doing Inherit the Wind. I was playing 90-year-old men, and Herbert Berghoff would be going, please, try something your own age. I'm tired you playing these ridiculous characters.
Herbert Berghoff, a famous acting coach here in New York.
Yeah, Uta Hagen's husband.
You learned a lot there?
I learned a lot. I mean, he really hated my work. And it was understandable. I was just always trying to play like old men and, you know, just characters that were so far from me. I just thought everything I just thought I was boring, so I had to do something really outrageous.
Tell me about what got you in the project, The Spawn, and what it's about, and why you are in it. Yes. What the hell are you doing in there? Why? You and Martin Sheen and who else?
D.B. Sweeney and Teresa Randall, and of course the Spawn is Michael Jai White. I was doing a movie called The Past. It was a small movie, and the directors came, and there was these little nerdy guys, and they were like, come on, John, we got Spawn. It's an amazing comic book. We'll let you be clown. I think nobody else can do it but you. You're really wonderful. And I was like, yeah, fellas, yeah, okay, leave the script in the trailer. I'll look at it when I get a chance. And they had the doll, and they were spinning the head from Violator to Clown, Violator to Clown. And I knew the comic book, and I called my friends up, all the comic book nerds, that friend that I had, and they'll go, come on, John. This is the comic book of the millennium. You got to do it. Yeah. You know, it's an event, because it's like one of the most beloved comic books of the 90s. Yeah. And I said yes. And then they paid me an incredible amount of money, so I knew something was wrong. And I should have known, man, because I was in makeup for almost 4 hours every day. How would they make you up? I would be asleep. I'd have to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I'd fall asleep, and for 4 hours, like a rotisserie chicken, they'd turn me around and glue stuff on my face, and I had blisters and calluses under my eyes. And how long did it take to take it off? An hour. 1 hour off? Yeah, because it was like, he wanted to go home. What's the story? The story's tough. This is tough, because it's about a CIA assassin who was set up by hell, right? So we set him up for a bad mission. We burn him. He comes to hell. Now he's burnt. And we say, okay, what do you want, Spawn? And he goes, I want to go back to be with my wife. So we say, sure, but we want you to lead our armies. And he says, I'll do it. So we bring him to Earth, and he's burnt, and he goes like the monkey's paw, and he goes to his wife, and she's like, ah, you're burnt, you're hideous, you know? Yeah. So now he's crawling on earth, and he's all ugly and hideous, and I come around to make him really angry and set, you know, start Armageddon and the apocalypse. Apocalypse Now, because Martin Sheen.
Here's a clip. Take a look at this from Spawn.
Peekaboo, I see you. You know how hard this place is to find in the dark? Oh, hello, Cyan. Remember me? Booga, 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 booga.
You were at my birthday party.
What are you, a regular Einstein? You sure know how to raise him, don't you?
What are you doing?
I'm back by popular demand. Big as life and twice as rotten. Does wonders for my asthma.
Silly stuff.
Tell me about Freak.
Okay, Freak.
Comes to Broadway when? Comes to.
It's going to be. I'm going to be going back to stage.
Right.
In the fall, September, and I don't know. I wanted to do something. It's going to be my last for sure this time. Somebody stop the monkey, get the monkey off my back. And I want to do something really personal and really daring and scary for myself. Because I've been doing a lot of Hollywood movies and just felt like I was losing touch with the artist part of myself. So I went to this thing and I workshopped it not workshopped it, I performed it in San Francisco. And what I tried to do was a marriage of stand-up and theater. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work out. I was afraid.
You know, the theater part, is it kind of an autobiographical stuff, or
it's quasi-semi-pseudo-autobiographical.
Quasi-semi-pseudo.
Yeah, quasi-semi-demi-autobiographical. That's because I toned down reality so people believe it, and then, you know, heighten some other things. And what I was trying to do was like a combination of Lily Tomlin and Richard Pryor, because they're my two idols, and try to marry their two styles together. And it was hard. I didn't know if it was going to work. I was scared. I was panicked. I swear I wet my pants. I swear before I went. I swear to God, I was terrified the first few days before I went, because I didn't know how people were going to react. Because it was maybe perhaps too much stand-up, too much theater, scaring people away.
And what was the reaction?
Well, you know.
So why are Lily Tomlin and who else did you say?
Richard Pryor.
And Richard Pryor heroes.
Lily
Models.
Tomlin, because when she created character, she threw herself so wholeheartedly into it and gave them such incredible amount of dignity and the three-dimensionality that most people never did to characters before. Yeah. And Richard Pryor, because he was the most personal, real, still with the variety of characters, and spoke about an inner...
And a piercing insight.
Yeah, an urban
Edge.
Experience, and an outsider experience in America, and both those influences were really, really powerful to me.
I think he's the best stand-up, just
in
pure stand-up ever I ever saw.
I think so too. I mean, there's nobody in the world who's done stand-up that way, because it was theatrical. Yeah. He'd become these characters, and they went on for a while, you know, they went on for 5 minutes. You don't do that in stand-up.
I mean, I remember when the first movie came out, I would just watch that movie and watch it and watch it and watch it, just to see just sort of the genius of somebody being able to communicate with an audience.
It's incredible.
You know?
And stuff that people don't really talk about, really personal stuff, really painful things in his life that he talked about and made you laugh at them. But you knew there was pain, and so that got to me, and that's what I tried to do.
Is stand-up still the hardest thing you've ever done? Stand-up,
I never really did stand-up. I did more sketch comedy and improv, because it's a little more actory kind of stuff. And I wasn't as scared of that stuff, because you go up there and you try to make a bunch of people laugh where they're drunk, and they're, yeah, great, you're not really funny, shut up. And I knew they're all drunks and whatever, so I didn't really care. But now when I started doing theater, my one-man shows, always at the beginning, I'm really scared. Because I know people are coming with huge expectations.
And what do you do to break that ice, to sort of get them on your side?
There's nothing I can do, man. I just go out there, go like this 5 minutes before, pray to my ancient ancestors, you know, and take a deep breath and ask Lee Strasberg and Herbert Berghoff.
Everything I can find as a crutch. I want it now.
Exactly. And throw myself out there and then hope for the best, you know? And you don't know. I don't know till the end.
How many characters in Freak?
I do about 40 characters.
40?
Yes.
And give me one character.
Give you
Just one character.
One character. Well, I was doing a little bit of Lee Strasberg in it, because I was in his class for one day and he passed on the next day, and he would be like telling me like, come on, try to do the exercise. Come on, dig deep, find something painful in your life. Come on, all right, forget it. Yeah, that's what he was like with me. And I'm doing, you know, trying to find my past, doing the Strasbergian thing, and he clutched and he was gone.
Did Herbert Berghoff or who had the most influence as a coach or as a teacher, as a mentor for you?
I think it would be Herbert Berghoff, because I was in his class for a year, and Strasberg, I was only in his class for one day.
Of course, yeah.
So, but he had huge influence on me. You know, he would nod his head every time I was about to do a scene, and he'd be like, "Oh God, what are you going to do now?" Yeah. I remember him. I would just go up there and do nonsense.
Do you find yourself a kind of role model for people who are coming up now who look to you and say, now there is somebody we can look to who did it? Or are you too young for that?
I mean, a lot of kids come up to me, you know, and say, you know, yo, man, now we know we can do it, man. And, you know, if you can do it, anybody can, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel good about that, you know, like the kids actually feel like, wow, you know, you're funny and you make fun of yourself, and it's a Latin person. I think it makes a difference.
You happiest in film or stage or where?
I think the most fulfilled I feel is on stage so far. I haven't had the experiences on film that have been equally challenging to me as it has been on stage, where I get to really express my opinions, my mind, my heart, my soul, all at once. What's
the best movie role you've had, other than this one? Just take this one out.
Yeah, okay, let's take this one out. Wow. I mean, I had some pretty amazing experiences. I guess the most memorable to me still is Carlito's Way, because I was there with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
And I was the second time with De Palma, and it was a really small character, and I was afraid if De Palma was going to let me ad-lib, if Pacino was going to ad-lib, and I went off, and I started talking and yakking like I usually do. And Pacino was looking at me, and he started to ad-lib with me, started to play, and De Palma wasn't going cut. And so all of a sudden, I felt my power, and it was the first time that I really felt my power on screen, you know, that I could really play ball with the big guys, you know. I could throw it there, and they weren't going to, you know, sucker punch me or anything.
And so they're willing to roll with it and go with it and enlarge it and make it grow.
Yeah, and I did it, and I made it huge. That monologue was a couple of lines.
Did De Palma leave it in the film?
Yep. All the stuff I tried, he kept in the film, which was really exciting to me, too.
Yeah. What else is happening after Freak?
After Freak, then I got a movie coming out called, I think it's called Body Count, with David Caruso and Linda Fiorentino and Ving Rhames. And that was a pretty wild adventure.
There's an actor I like a lot, Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames is really good. And Caruso rocked my world, man.
Really?
He was really inspiring. I mean, I had heard great stories about him as an actor, and that he was a tough guy, too. I heard those stories, too. And he really kept everybody on their toes. He really demanded. You know, he wants things to work, and I was like that. I'll try anything. And so we didn't butt heads, but we tried to make everything work, and it was really exciting.
Yeah. I assume that every actor, artist out there has a kind of rap about them. There's a rap sheet on them. Tough to work with, hard to work with, very good with everybody, easy to work with, come prepared, doesn't come prepared, likes to go off, doesn't like to go off.
Yeah,
everybody's got a rap sheet. And what would they say about you? What do you think's on your rap sheet?
He likes to ad-lib a lot. Be careful. He likes to ad-lib and improvise a lot. He's going to give you so much, perhaps too much. So, you know, I think that's what they're going to say, that I like to add a lot of stuff and change things from take to take. I don't like to really repeat the same thing.
Great to have you here.
Oh, this is great, man.
Thank you, John.
It's an honor.
The film is called Spawn. John Leguizamo. We'll be right back. Stay with us.